Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've come this far. It is so exciting. I'm so happy for you. Now let's break down what I want you to practice on a daily basis, okay? Now some of you have more time than others, so if you can't, that's fine. If you could just dedicate a few minutes a day or maybe one thing a day, that's fine. But let me break it down for you, okay? Now, as I said earlier, there's an MP3 of me saying all these combinations uninterrupted. Ba, ab, ka, ak. Your job, go through each of them from 1 to 12. It might take a while at first, but with practice, it'll just come through. And I have students who can knock it out in 10 minutes. Ba, ab, ka, ak, da, ad. But remember, the priority is keep those targets consistent. Don't veer off from the targets no matter where you're coming from, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing, I'm going to be providing you with a list of 300 of the most popular words spoken in the American accent. I want you, in your own time, do 5 a day, 10 a day, it depends, of finding these words and trying to break them down with the right targets. And again, if you don't know what they are, go to Google Translator and she'll tell you exactly how it is, okay? Knock out those 300 words. And also words you may come across at work. Oh, you know, I came across this word, how was it? It was impossible. I just didn't know what it was, impossible. Impossible, what was it? Words that you've had problems with your whole life. I mean, we all have those. Get them, break them down. Break down 5, 10 words a day in addition to your target practice. That's going to build your database of words and information that's going to help you. Read, read, read. Very important. I would start off with children's books like we were doing earlier, okay? Children's stories, poetry. Poetry and children's stories are a wonderful way to really be able to hear those setups and those resolves with a beautiful break in between, okay? And of course, you're dynamic. Keep things dynamic. Use your voice from up there and down there. Because targets are the same no matter what the range is. Target 1, ah, ah. That doesn't change. The targets don't change. The reason why we have this dynamic is so when we speak our targets, they're going to be available to us no matter where we're going with them, okay? And really find those breaks, those setups and the resolve. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. And you're going to emphasize whatever words are important to you. Once upon a time, there was a young prince who lived in a shining castle. Maybe you like young princes who live in shining castles. What you emphasize is up to you and the intention of the reader. There is no right or wrong. And of course, tongue twisters. They could be intimidating at first, but don't be intimidated by them. If you speak them slowly, with those breaks in between, finding the setups and the resolves, you will find it to be much easier. Another thing that I want you to do is active listening. Okay, not just passive listening, active listening, very important. The students that have the most success with me, I ask them, what is it that you do the most? I've had students who have eliminated their accent completely. They're 100% American. And I ask them, out of everything I tell you to do, what is it that you do the most? You know what they say? Active listening. Because when you listen actively, you're going to start hearing those setups and those resolves and those target combinations. You'll be familiar. Go, hey, that sounds familiar. Oh yeah, I remember that combination. Wow, there's so many 8s. Listening and repeating, okay? When you're driving in the car, if you're cooking, put on the radio. Listen, actively listen, repeat. And repeat a word, 2 words, 3 words, a sentence. Oh, I never said that word before. Let me try that. Conglomerate, conglomerate. Wow, conglomerate. That's a 12. I never knew that. It takes practice, it takes work. But I know you could do it. You wouldn't have signed up for this course if you weren't willing. And I know you're willing, okay?